In this video, we are going to learn Act 1, Scene 1 of The Merchant of Venice from line number 116 to line number 155. All of you take the Verity edition of The Merchant of Venice and turn to page number 27. In the previous video, we find Gratiano giving advice to Antonio. He speaks a lot and at last he says that Antonio should start speaking. And he tells that the only tongues that should be silent are ox tongues on a dinner plate. So he keeps on blabbering certain things and he leaves the stage along with Lorenzo. Now Antonio is with Bassanio, his dearest friend. Antonio is asking this question to Bassanio. Is that anything now? Is that anything now means does it make any sense? So Antonio is asking Bassanio whether what Gratiano told make any sense. Bassanio. Gratiano speaks an infinite deal of nothing more than any man in all Venice. So we all know that Gratiano speaks a great deal of nothing. His reasons are as two grains of wheat hid in two bushels of chaff. Bushels is a unit of measurement. Okay, so he says his reasons, Gratiano's reasons means thoughts, are like two grains of wheat, only two grains of wheat, which are hid in two bushels of chaff. Right? Chaff is the inedible part of a grain. So here it refers to nonsense, right? You shall seek all day, ere you find them. Ere means before, and when you have them, they are not worth the search. So it's like searching two grains of wheat in two bushels of chaff. So you have to search for a whole day to find out the two grains of wheat. But when you find that, you'll realize that it's not worth the search. So, what is he trying to say? There is no need for us to think seriously about what Graciano has said because it doesn't make sense. He hides his few thoughts in great deal of nonsense. He speaks lot of nonsensical things and there is no need for us to waste our time thinking about that. Antonio, well, tell me now, what lady is the same? Is the same means what lady is she to whom you swore a secret pilgrimage, to whom you promised a secret visit that you today promised to tell me of? So Antonio is asking Bassanio, see, you promised me that you will be telling about a lady whom you are going to visit soon. So you just tell me about her. Bassanio. "'Tis not unknown to you, Antonio. It is not unknown to you, Antonio, how much I have disabled my estate." So Bassanio is not telling about the lady whom he wants to visit secretly. Okay, he is talking about something different. Let's see what's that. It is not unknown to you, Antonio, which means you know everything, Antonio. How much I have disabled mine estate. Estate means or income. So, how much I have squandered away my estate by something showing a more swelling port. So, by living in a rather grand style, he has squandered away his estate that than my faint means would grant continue. So all these lines, three lines should be read together. Let me read it once again. How much I have disabled mine estate by showing a more swelling port than my faint means would grant continuance. So faint means limited income. So Bassanio was having limited income, but he was living in a rather grand style. For that he needed lot of money. So he ended up squandering all his estate. He spent lot of money, he got the debt, and so he is now in a very pathetic situation. Okay, nor do I now make moan to be abridged from such a noble rate, nor do I make moan. Moan means complain. To be abridged. Abridged means to give up. From such a noble rate means lovely way of living. So now also he doesn't have any plans to give up everything and lead a simple life. Okay. But he is concerned about one thing. What is that? His chief care is to come fairly off from the great debts wherein my time, something too prodigal, hath left me gauged. So now he has come to a conclusion that he has to be free from the great debts which he accumulated during his youth. Okay, so wherein my time means when he was a youth, he was living a life of luxury. Okay, something too prodigal means something too extravagant, and which left him gauged means debt. Okay, in debt. So now he has decided to set himself free from all his debts. To you, Antonio, I owe the most in money and in love. And to you, Antonio, I owe the most both in money and in love. And from your love, I have a warranty. Warranty means assurance. To unburden all my plots means all my plans and purposes. Purposes means intentions. How to get clear of all the debts I owe. So Bassanio tells Antonio that, see, the love Antonio has for Bassanio and the love Bassanio has for Antonio gives him the assurance that he can unburden or unfold all his schemes and intentions about clearing the debts to Antonio. Antonio, I pray you, good Bassanio, let me know it. I request you, Bassanio, you can tell about your plans to me. And if it stand as you yourself still do, within the eye of honor, within the eye of honor means within honorable limits, be assured my purse, my person means body, my extremist means utmost resources, that whatever Antonio has lie all unlocked to your occasions. So, see, as long as your request is honorable, you can be sure that I let you use all my money and do everything I can to help you. So he says that he'll give his money, his body, I mean his person means he himself will do anything for Bassanio, and he'll use his resources to fulfill Bassanio's request, and he is ready to do everything for Bassanio if his request falls within the honorable limits. So from here we understand the love between Bassanio and Antonio. They are true friends. Antonio is willing to help Bassanio. Okay? And Antonio makes one point clear here, that he is ready to do all these things if his plan falls within the honorable limits. Okay. So from this we understand the character of Antonio also. Antonio seems to be a very, very honest and a nice person. Bassanio. In my school days, when I had lost one shaft means arrow, I shot his fellow refers to a similar arrow of the same flight, of the self same flight, the self same way with more advised watch to find the other fourth. So he says, in my school days when I was young, when I had lost one arrow, I used to shoot a similar arrow of the same kind in the same way, but I'll keep a watch on the second arrow. I keep a careful watch on the second arrow to find where it goes, to find the place it goes. Okay, and by adventuring both and by risking both, I oft found both. So, what is he saying here? When he was in school days, when he loses an arrow, he used to shoot a similar arrow in the same direction with the same speed and all, so that by having a closer watch on the second arrow, he'll know where the first arrow is lying. So, by risking the second arrow, often he he was able to find out the first arrow also, right? I urge this childhood proof because what follows is pure innocence. So now he has decided to do something to come out of his debt by following the same method. I owe you much, and like a willful youth, that which I owe is lost. See, I owe you much. I have to repay you lot of things. I have to repay you in love as well as money. I have already borrowed from you lot of money. I owe you much, and like a willful youth, willful means self-willed young man, that which I owe is lost. I lost whatever I borrowed from you. But if you please to shoot another arrow, that self way which you did shoot the first, I do not doubt, as I will watch the aim, or to find both, or bring your latter hazard back again, and thankfully rest debtor for the first. So, what is Bassanio's request to Antonio? He says, see, I have lost whatever I borrowed from you. So, if you please to shoot another arrow. So, another arrow here refers to the second loan. If you are willing to give me a second loan, with like you did shoot the first, like you gave me the first loan, I do not doubt, I have no doubt that I'll keep a closer watch at the second arrow, and I'll recover the first arrow also. What is he saying? See, if you give me a second loan, using the money I get from you as a second loan, I'll try to recover the lost wealth, okay, or bring you latter hazard back again, and thankfully rest debtor for the first. Or if I'm not able to recover the lost wealth, I'll at least repay you the second loan and be thankful for the first one. Is it clear, students? He is just giving him an example. He wants Antonio to give him money. Okay, right. So that's all for today's class, students. And the remaining lines we can see in the next class. Let's see how Antonio reacts to Bassanio's plea in the next class. Thank you, students.